right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about director's monitors, our customer monitors, wireless 4K. Stand by and let's get into it. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about 4K wireless director monitors, our color monitor, our customer monitor, sorry, not color, customer, and how you can make this quick and easy with the right tools. It's sitting here right beside me, just a 7-inch monitor, and I'll go through everything in detail, what they are and how it's set up and all that other good stuff. So just a very quick and easy video about how you can set this up for a director or your customers so they can see it, whether it be on a stand or if you want to hand hold it, move around, you can do that as well. So stand by and let me move over. Thanks. All right, everybody. So as we discussed in the intro, these are the two main players in this director monitor / customer monitor, however you want to say it. The first one is the feelworld LUT 7S Pro, and the second piece is the Hollyland Mars 4K. Now, the reason I picked these is there's a couple of big advantages to using these. Both of them have HDMI and SDI inputs and outputs, basically, and outputs. So I can do SDI on one or both, or I could do SDI and HDMI on one or both, depending on your setup and your camera. For instance, I'm using a Canon C70. So the HDMI input is being used for the receiver, and the transmitter, I'm using SDI because it locks and it won't fall out and all that other kind of good stuff. The other advantage to this system, it does use 4K. Now it is transmitting in 3840 by 2160, as you can see. This will not do true DCI 4K, which is 4096 by 2160. So even though it won't do true 4K DCI, this does do regular 4K, which makes it an advantage. Of course, the monitor is showing you 4K, but it's basically a 1080p monitor. If you wanted to do a 4K monitor, like I have a Neon 24, it will do it at the 3840 by 2160, but not the DCI. Just a quick disclaimer there that yes, it's a 4K signal, but it's not really being presented as 4K. It's basically a 1080p screen. So just kind of quick disclaimer there. Another big advantage of these two items are the power, which basically I can use MPF batteries, I can use wall power, or I can use V-mount batteries. So big advantage to using these two items. As you notice, I have two handles on it and it's on a stand, a regular 3/8 stand. So you can either mount it on a stand for somebody to stand and watch or sit and watch, or you can hand hold it, you know, if it's a dynamic scene and you want to move around. Now, this will work for focusing. Is it 0 latency? No. Is it 0.06 millisecond latency? Basically, yes. So you can use it as focusing if you're not using a fast moving scene. And if you give me a second here, I'll put a big time code in front of it so you can compare how many drop frames and stuff there is in case you do want to use this setup for focusing. So stand by and let me put the big time bar up there so you can see if there's any frame rate drops or anything like that. So stand by. All right, there you go. So if you want, you can freeze frame this and compare the monitor to the iPad basically and see how many drop frames there are. Very few. Are there some? Of course, because this isn't 0 latency. So just a quick check there to see if you want to use this as a focusing monitor or not, if you're using like manual lenses. So this is the basically drop frame portion of the video. So let me turn all this off and we'll move on. Thanks. So basically the other thing I wanted to show you is the back and how clean this is. You can see there's an SDI cable, the V-mount battery, and of course the Hollyland 4K transmitter. Very clean, not cables going anywhere. Of course I could clean it up more, but I just put it on a stand. So I just wanted to show you real quick. I could wrap those cables around like the V-mount or the receiver to clean it up. And if you notice the small rig wooden handles on the side, they're just mounted with a couple little NATO plates. That's it. I'll put links to all this in the description, but very clean, very quick and easy to set up. You know, like I said, the V-mount does have an adapter on it. I'll put an MPF to V-mount adapter on it. I'll put a link in the description below on that as well. But you could easily use a MPF battery if you wanted to. That's why I like this system. Definitely some advantages to using the monitor and the transmitter receiver for the wireless, just because of all the different power options. This makes it so much easier. And if this was sitting someplace for a long time, I could easily plug the monitor in, and it would power the transmitter as well, and it'll last forever. So just to showcase the portability of this, I just put a V-mount battery in it. That's all. So let me go ahead and get out of this shot, and we'll keep on moving along. Thanks. All right, everybody. So that's everything. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, maybe learned a few things, or at least found it entertaining. Hopefully this gave you some ideas on what you can do with director monitors or customer monitors. You can make this easy, relatively inexpensive. Now, relative being the word, some of this can be a little pricey, but compared to like true 4K wireless systems, this is on the cheaper side. Now, is it extremely cheap? No, of course not. You know, you're probably going to spend around $1,000 or so US on this setup. The biggest one is, of course, is going to be the wireless system because it's 4K. It's a little pricey. The monitors are relatively cheap nowadays compared to what they used to be. You know, maybe $100 to $1,000, depending on the type of monitor you want to get and the functionality and all that. If you want to go on the cheap, you can use a 4K TV. I wouldn't recommend it because you lose a lot of functionality if you're not using a true monitor. So that's just my recommendation. Thank you everybody for watching and for listening. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day or night, everybody. Happy shooting. Thank you. Bye.